the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
The stone. May pinulot po akong bato kanina. You can use this to hurl somebody with this stone. Pwede mong pambato. Pwede mong pamasibas yung batungin. It can hurt actually. And kung marami tayo, it can kill. Until now, there are people who would be hurling stone against one another to hurt them. Not with a stone, sometimes with our words, with our accusations, and we bear with our hands. Woman was brought to Jesus because he was caught in the act of adultery. And the law of Moses tells them to stone that woman. Jesus was asked, what shall we do with this woman? She was caught in the act of adultery. Actually, the question is for Jesus to answer so that they have something to accuse him. It was not actually about the woman. It's about Jesus. They are trying to trap. But Jesus did not answer the question. Mainit yung ulo ng mga tao. They are very angry about this woman. They are already ready to stone him. They are just waiting for the signal of Jesus. Dala-dala nila yung bato. Gigil na sila. Galit na galit sila. They want to throw the stone to that woman. And yet Jesus did not answer them. Sabi nga, when you ask the wrong question, you will receive the wrong answer. He just buy time, then he knelt down and began to doodle, to write in the ground. Mainit na mainit yung ulo. They are very emotionally charged. Yung mga the mob, the people. They are very angry. And yet Jesus bought some time. Di ba mayroong expression, when you are very angry, you count 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Actually, that is not a hearsay na gawin mo lang yan. Actually, that is scientifically correct. Because in our brain, there's a small bean-sized amygdala that triggers our emotions. That is the brain part that is triggering our anger. Pag galit na galit ka, o kung may susuktukin ka, o mayroon ka sasampalin, o kaya magsasalita ka ng masakit, magmumura ka, it comes from amygdala. Then, it takes about 5 seconds to charge your body to respond from that amygdala impetus. And when you count 1 to 10, that charge from the amygdala is short-circuited. Parang nasisira po yung cycle of the charge of anger and emotion. Kaya pag nagbilang ka ng 1 to 10, tama. Parang mababawasan yung galit mo. Gusto mo, gamitin pa 1 to 20 or more. Some people even say, matulog ka muna, sleep over it. Wag muna kayong mag-away. Matulog ka muna, manahimik ka na muna. And then maybe the next day, you'll have a better perception. I have a friend, psychologist, who said, Father, when you are emotionally imbalanced, do not make major decisions. May repeat, pag galit ka, huwag ka munang magdesisyon, huwag ka munang magsalita, huwag ka munang do not react, respond. Because usually, when you do something when you are emotionally charged, you will regret it. Minsan the next day, nahihiya ka ba't sinabi mo yon? You lost a friend. You lost a relative. You lost someone because of your emotional imbalance. Remember, kahit kaano ka kagalit, it will come, it will go. Parang bagyo, kahit signal number 4, it will come and it will go. Pag malungkot na malungkot ka, huwag kang magdesisyon. Pag depressed na depressed ka, huwag kang magdesisyon. Let it settle down. Sleep over it. Compassion can never coexist with judgment because judgment creates distance, but making compassion true to what is impossible. That is from Henry Nouwen. Before we cast a stone at someone else, we must examine our hearts also. Second, when we are holding a stone in our hands, you can use the stone to build positively. Kaysa manira, manakit, pwedeng gamitin ng bato, mag-construct to build something. Ang chapel na ito, napakaganda. But it's made of stones, cement, and rock, and concrete and steel. We always need stones. Kaysa pambato mo, gamitin mo to build the person. Not literally for construction, even for building up the person. Remember, mistakes are there for us to learn. There are no mistakes if you have to learn your lesson. Okay, nagkamali siya. Babatuhin mo? Let him learn from the mistake. And that mistake will become an option for them to be wiser, to be more experienced, and to be better. Pag nagkakamali ang tao, huwag po ninyong ipahiya. Huwag niyo silang saktan. Do not condemn them. We are not gods. Give them the chance to learn from their mistake. Look at the gospel. Jesus said, "Nobody condemned you, neither do I condemn you. But do not sin no more." Mabiyasa ka, may kamali ka. I don't condemn you, but learn from this mistake. The church teaches us that while being accountable is necessary, judgment is justice must fully realized in reconciliation, love, and mercy. Build the person. Their mistakes are opportunities for them to become better, to learn from our own mistakes. Parang there are 3 ways to learn. Your teacher can teach you. Your books you read can teach you. But even your mistakes can also deeply teach you personally. Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta said, "If you judge people, you have no time to love them." Sabi ni Boss Sanchez, do not fix people. You do not fix people. Maybe you fix your car. You fix your cell phone. You fix your electric pan or television. You don't fix persons. Love them and give them the chance to learn from their mistakes. Yung lang magkamali, masakit na. Let them go through that mistake and learn from it. Mayroong isang school, they allow mistakes. They are not very conscious na nagkamali ang isang bata. Hindi nila pinapahiya yung mga nagkakamali. In fact, they would even allow mistakes. But they make sure they learn from that mistakes. They have more matured students. Baka kasi may nagsasabi, "Father, I never committed the mistake." I doubt if he really did something. Baka naman kaya hindi siya nagkamali kasi wala naman siyang ginawa. He did not try to do anything. Pag yung mga bata, sinasaktan natin pag nagkakamali, pinapahiya natin pag nagkakamali habang bata, they will be afraid to try. They will be afraid to open up their search pag nagkamali sila. To be honest, kasi masasaktan sila pag nagkamali. Papaluin sila. While they are young, while they are in school, okay, kamali kayo. Pero pagdating naman sa professional life, I hope we are more prepared. Mahirap yung nagkakamaling engineer. Magko-collapse yung building. Mahirap kung nagkamali ka as a doctor. Baka may mamatay. Well, they are students. Maybe even when they are young. We build on one another as persons, even with our mistakes. Lastly, this stone can become the foundation where we lay our lives and our church. Remember Saint Peter? Saint Peter, when the first time he met Jesus, is a miracle. He's a fisherman, and yet they caught nothing. And Jesus stood before him, a carpenter. And then Jesus said, "Did you caught anything? We have been working all night long but had caught nothing." Pagod na kami, Lord. Overnight na kami nangingisda. Wala pa kaming nahuli kahit ano. Zero. Pwede pala yun, no? Professional kang mangingisda. Experienced kang fisherman. Tapos we go home with empty nets. Wala siyang nadada. Pwede rin pala, on a personal level, other than fish that you bring home, you also go with emptiness. Parang wala pa rin. Kulang pa rin. That is Peter when he met Jesus. And yet Jesus, "Peter, cast your net to the deeper waters. Duc in altum." Dun sa mas malalim. And they were able to catch fish for so many. And Peter saw it was a miracle before them. A fisherman was kneeling before a carpenter. He did not call Jesus, Jesus. He called him Lord because he witnessed a miracle. And Peter said, "Lord, depart from me. I am a sinful man." From Luke chapter 5 verse 8. Makasalanan po ako. I'm not worthy. I'm a broken person. I'm a sinful person. He was throwing the stone to himself, accusing himself of his own sin. And yet Jesus said, "Peter, from now on, I will be making a fisher of men. Ang pangalan mo, Simon, but I will call you Peter, the rock. Petrus is rock. And upon this rock, I will build my church." That our church, our first boat, was built not because of the exceptional capacities of Peter, of his intelligence or achievements, but our church is built upon the mercy and the power of God. It was not about Peter. It was about the power and the mercy of God. Remember Saint Paul of Tarsus? Saint Paul of Tarsus, he was not a holy man. He was not a man of the church. Actually, Saint Paul is a persecutor. Siya isang kinakatakutan ng mga Kristiyano. Siya berdugo sa mga Kristiyano. He persecuted, he hurt, even killed Christians. And yet when Paul was riding his horse, very proud, he fell from his horse. Nahulog siya sa kanyang kabayo. I don't know kung nampilayan siya, pero it was a shameful moment for him. And then, nabulagan siya. He became blind. And then there's a voice in the midst of that blindness. He said, "Saul, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And then Saul was so afraid what was happening. "Who are you? Who are you?" And then the voice said, "I am Jesus, the one you are persecuting when you are hurting those who believe me and follow me." And that's the time Paul was converted. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 10, Paul said, "It is in my weakness, it is then that I am strong." That in my weakness, ang aking pagkamakasalanan, doon nangingibabaw ang pagpapatawad, ang lakas ng Diyos sa kanyang pagmamahal. These two are broken people. These two are people who are sinful. They were supposed to receive this stone of condemnation. but they were built to become the foundation of our church. Sa Apalit, may taga-Apalit dito nakita ko. Sa Apalit, some years ago, yung kanilang patron, St. Peter, San Pedro, Hapong Iru. And then, more than 10 years ago, it was adjusted. Ang kanilang patron ngayon sa Apalit, Pampanga, sa kanilang parokya, hindi na St. Peter, dalawa na. Parish of St. Peter and Paul. Because that is the liturgical calendar's celebration. That these two men became the foundations of our church and the rest of the apostles, not because of their own strength, but because of the mercy of God. I ask you with this question, if you have a stone in your hand, how will you use it? To condemn others? To hurt others? To destroy their name? Or to build on their mistakes? To learn from their mistakes? To be better and wiser? And even to build this rock as a source of our foundation with the mercy of God upon us. Sabi nga ng isang banal na santo, I am not good, I am forgiven. May God bless us all, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.